Hey everybody, Coach Duality here with another 3v3 analysis. This time we're here with Swift from PSE. So let's go ahead and get this started, see what we can break down and run over here together. Looking to see how they work as a team and off of each other, and how Swift incorporates that into his individual play. Okay, so this is an interesting example of the importance of the line that you're taking at your shot. So, right here, Orange popped the ball pretty high towards Swift's net here. Swift should be the next on the ball. So, first what he needs to do is make sure that he gets a line on the ball, because he has some space to get to that. So he wants to make sure that the touch that he makes is from the best line to produce the best result. So if we watch here, he's not taking ball cam off. He's kind of just tracking that ball in the sky, but he's driving straight back. So the only way he can get to this ball would be up the wall and straight out. And his line is rough because he didn't give himself the right angle to look at that. So up here, he sees the ball being launched up like that. What Swift needs to do to get the right line is to cut wider towards nets. You don't need to keep tracking the ball like that when it's in the air right under it. If you go towards net before you take a look at that ball, like before you place your shot or pass, however you're going to play it, you're going to have a much better line to work with, and you're going to be able to see the ball and react to how it bounces much better from the net. Because he's just sort of going in a straight angle here, he's nowhere near close enough to the ball because he's probably just not accustomed to being able to track it like that. So once he's off from that line, it's over, and he has to trust someone else. But you have time and space there. Give yourself, just go to net and work the ball from there. Try to figure out why they get scored on here. Dez goes up. Not sure why he's sort of flying around there. He's throwing himself out of this play here. He made the touch, and he's trusting his defenders, but he's so far afield that he won't be able to do anything. But more importantly, he's not going to be able to work with whatever play that you guys start making. So quality's sort of left there in a pretty tough spot, and there's not too much he can do with it there. Okay, so this is a pretty avoidable double commitment here. Think of that 1-2-3 rotation. Dez is one, made a touch or approach at the ball. He's gonna want to cycle out, and because he's that far up, he's probably gonna want to cycle back to 3. Quality becomes 1, and Swift here is going to become 2. And Swift can see quality upfield there, farther up the pitch and closer to where that ball is going, towards that side. Yet he's still going up. He's not thinking enough of what he should be doing as part of that rotation. He's 3 there, so he needs to make sure that he's anchoring the backfield and watching towards net. So they're going to get scored on. And here, Swift needs to get up on the ball. He sees it's going to bounce, but here he's going to do his second jump too quickly, and he's committing to a line that is wrong. If he waited and extended that first jump a little bit more, he would have been able to react to that ball a little bit better, maybe popped it off top bar and out. But that quick double jump is committing him to a line that ended up being wrong in the first place. So here he should be up pretty close. It's a nice little roll shot. Good pass from the teammate. It's a decent block in the backfield there. Good try. A little bit too slow. I think Dez was kind of cycling around in net there. Oh, he was just... Yeah, I don't think he turned around quick enough at the right angle for that. I mean, that's a tough shot to save regardless, so Swift's okay to sort of get up there and start challenging in the air. Okay. Again, as part of the rotation, try to get this play going again. So, Quality's 1, Dez is 2. Quality, off kickoff, kickoff's always going to be 1, and then there should be someone working with him however they see fit as the 2 spot. So Quality makes an approach at the ball, and Dez is sort of looking at the ball as the 2 spot, and it bounces up. So now that Quality's out of the play and Dez finds himself out of the play, they should be cycling back, and Swift here should be 1 on the ball. So his objective should be to trust Dez there to run back, and Swift should be challenging this ball. But he backs up here. He has space, and if he won it that earlier, he would have been easily able to get to that ball before Orange, but he's still just backing up. And yeah, Dez has some sort of attempt there, but it's not as good of a team play, and they're not as able to work with each other as they should, so the rotations are sort of slow and dying out there. Yeah, Dez has to start challenging that a little bit earlier. It's a good block, though. Quality's running a little too far away from the play there in mid. You might have communicated to work with that. Okay, but this was a play I was looking at earlier. Let's try to see why you got scored on here. So you make a touch of the ball. Dez is upfield, and you should have a teammate somewhere behind you. So you make a touch, and you see no one else on the play. So I'd imagine that they're backfield. And here you're going to go for a demo. I imagine just trusting the second man back there to try to make a touch on the play and help. You're just trying to mess up the goalie there. And you do get the demo. And now Quality's in a 2-on-1, which is pretty rough. So Quality's by himself over there. Let's try to... Okay. Get this little situated here to fly so we can kind of peek around the field. Okay, so Dez is back here. Quality's over here trying to make a 1-on-2 play after the demo. He misses the challenge. I think he just goes out a little bit too far. And Dez is left in the backfield, but that turn right there is what's going to kill him. He has 2 players pushing up on him, and Swift's running back, and, there's not much Swift can do to save that, but Dez just has to get in their face. You have 2 offenders coming at you. You're probably not going to be able to block a shot most of the time. You sort of just have to get up earlier for a quicker challenge. Disrupt the play before they can get anything going on. Quality a little too antsy to get up in the air there. Not taking some time to read the backboard touch. So Swift should be going on this. Swift is 1 on the play, so that's a good challenge by him. And the third is creeping a little bit too far up there. You have the ball on your half of the pitch. You want to be a little bit more anxious to start throwing all 3 of you upfield. It's pretty important for that third spot anchor to be close enough to net as possible. Let the other 2 work on the ball. That's a pretty nice shot there. Getting a decent angle on it. It's a nice shot there. It's a good block by Hado. So Quality should be running at this, and Dez should be too. So that's a good follow-up. Nice placement. Cross the goal there. Draw a defender out while putting it a little bit far away from his reach. So Swift is 1 here. He should be the one going at this without hesitating. I understand the hesitation there with the high shot, but try to just keep the speed up. It's part of a team there. So Quality finds himself ahead of the ball, and that's a nice turn by him to try to keep the play going. Decent awareness. You might want to creep up a little bit more with your teammates when you can there as third. So you see a teammate cycle out, you got to get up there for this. You're floating too much around the midfield. So 1 made a touch of the ball, that's Quality. And Dez is sort of floating around there. So Quality made his touch. Dez sees that it's probably going over, so he's going to cycle back. And then here, Swift, you're turning back towards your nets. In threes, you want to try to have 2 people on the drive, Most importantly, when the ball is in the other half of the pitch, you have to really capitalize on that. Keep the pressure. Trust your third man back. Even just this little turn there is going to be too much. If he went up just a lot farther and quicker, he could have challenged that and let Quality make a play on the ball. But now he's sort of stuck around the midfield, and his challenge is a lot harder to capitalize on. Good job by them working with each other. Yeah, someone else should be playing that. Quality's a little bit too slow to go for that, giving them a little bit too much time in your half of the pitch. When the ball's on your side, it's really important to keep someone pressuring that. Don't let the enemies have some time or space to work with each other. Get in their face and force them to make an uncomfortable touch on the ball. Not sure what Dez is doing there. It might be AFK or something. So Swift is going to push up here. You have it in their pitch, so you should be comfortable doing that. You could have challenged that if you just did a single jump earlier. Get a little bit in the air and get in their face. Probably ran out of boost. Good job by Dez picking that up. Little too much hesitation there. We can try to break this down a little bit more. Quality's running pretty far upfield there. He really needs to make sure that he's cycling back. You have a couple of fenders sort of pounding it here around your net. You really shouldn't be concerned with pushing a drive upfield. I mean, you are down by 3, but that's still more than possible in a minute. And, you know, to capitalize on getting those 3 goals and tying up, you can't let another one in, because at that point it's pretty much unreachable. So, the ball's coming down here, and Swift is too far forward. The ball is going to be coming towards him from that corner, so he needs to just back his car up a little bit so he can make a better touch at the ball. He's sitting in a little bit of a dead zone in front of the net there. Give yourself less area to work with. If you're inside the net looking out, you have a smaller area that you have to protect because you're just working from inside your net. It's a good pass there. Should be just rotating back, trusting the second. Good job getting to the ball. Touch is a little off, but what's important is you're keeping pressure and working on pushing some passing plays up the field. That's a rough turn here. Again, you're sort of going out of the rotation. Quality's looking at that ball from back there. You were upfield making some sort of approach at the ball, so he wants to cycle in and keep the rotation going. So you just want to cycle back when you see him sort of looking up there and peeking up. You find yourself up here, but instead you make this turn, and Quality's already looking at this ball, so there's not much you can do from there, so you sort of find yourself out of the rotation. One of you guys needs to be turning around there. When you have 2 people just running back, not really able to make a touch on the ball, that's incredibly dangerous. Whenever you realize that, you just gotta have someone making some sort of pressure. It's a nice touch by Quality there. Quality, again, peeking a little bit too far upfield. He's anxious to make a drive, but you gotta stay a little bit tighter so you're able to work with each other. It's okay to give each other space and run up when you have the room, but with a ball bouncing around there on your side of the pitch with some orange members there, it's too risky to be pushing up that far. See if we can back this up. See, Quality is going ahead of that ball, but he's not turning around and getting back quick enough. There he does get back there, but his recovery isn't as quick as it should be for a challenge like that. So thanks for sending in the replay, Swift. Appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like if this helped you out at all. And hopefully I will see you guys around, so I appreciate it. Cheers.